Hi. Welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was a little crazy this morning. I just kind of forgot it was Saturday. Oh my goodness. I was just in my closet and my hair is still sopping wet. And I realized, oh, I've got a video to do. So then I realized I had to unload my car from yesterday. I did an event at the Lubbock Women's Club called Sip and Shop. I had a booth there, and I was so exhausted last night, as I know Tanya Cook was too, my helper, who came and was a great partner to have at that event. We had ladies make cards, and it was a lot of fun, but it was a long day. We set up in the morning, went to lunch, ran home, got a few things, went back, and the Sip and Shop was from 3 to 7, and then came out and Tanya had a flat. Oh, it was horrible. So we got it fixed quickly, though. There was a guy, if y'all ever need anybody and you're around Lubbock, it was called IR Mobile, I believe. It's the mobile service, something like that, initials like that. I can look it up for you if anybody ever needs to know that, because they were great. Anyway, so I realized I had to unpack everything. Once I realized, yes, it's Saturday, I have a video in 15 minutes. I had to go unpack my car to find the stuff. So I don't have it all in here. I'm realizing my other part of my brain is working and thinking about all the things that are still in the other room. But let me see if I can get this to full screen here so I can see your comments and everything. We are working on the Ginkgo Branch stamp set and dies, and I would recommend getting it as a bundle. After you see my post, hopefully it will be today. If you're on my email list, my MailChimp, if you've signed up, subscribe to my blog, you'll get information about this class to go. And we are going to do 7, possibly 8 cards, somewhere in there, 6, 7, something, maybe 7 different cards as part of this bundle. So you will get a reduced price on the class if you purchase the bundle from me as part of the class. So we'll have several options. And here's Tanya this morning. How are you? I'm glad you've tuned in. It was a crazy morning, Tanya. I forgot it was Saturday. So, and I hadn't unpacked my car as I was getting ready for the video. So thank y'all for being patient with me as I go through this crazy life with a crazy, crazy brain. But hopefully you will enjoy today, and subscribe to my blog at just createwithkelly.com is my blog. And I will be sending out information either today or by tomorrow about the upcoming Ginkgo Branch class. That'll be my March class to go. So this is one of the cards that'll be featured in that. So you'll get, whenever you purchase the class, you'll get full measurements, supply lists, all that. So it's been a lot of fun playing with this. And I have done a lot of different designs, totally different looks with this one set. So today we're going to attempt to do this one. We'll see. I'm going to have to run back in the other room, I know, a time or two to find stuff that's still packed in boxes from our little vendor event yesterday. But we met some lovely ladies. And if y'all are members of the Lubbock Women's Club, or you know people who are, you might check my Create with Kelly Crew Facebook page. I've posted some photos of ladies who have made cards. And even though some of them said, I'm not crafty, they sat down and made a card and were proud of it. So that's always a wonderful moment when you have somebody in and they are enjoying their card making experience and they hold up their card and say, I made this, all excited. That makes it worthwhile. So thank you, Tanya, for being such a good partner yesterday. And we will go ahead and see what we can do before I have to jump in the other room and find something that's still packed in a box. But sorry for the few minutes late this morning. But thank you for tuning in, whether you are just tuning in on Facebook or on YouTube, or if you're watching the replay. I'm happy to have you on my channel and part of my Create with Kelly crew. If I haven't introduced myself in this crazy busy few moments, I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2005, and I am right here in Lubbock, Texas, and proud to be so. If y'all are in this area, I do a lot of classes here in my own home that I have a little craft studio set up, and would love for you to attend some of those. Or if you'd like to do your own Crafty Gals night out, I can come to you, or we can meet at a business. If y'all want to do a team building, we can do all kinds of things. So, as well as, of course, you can watch my videos online each Saturday, usually at 10:30, a little bit late this morning, but y'all can tune in for those. And I also have classes to go. So be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way you won't miss any tips or techniques or new classes that I have coming up. So I'm excited to have you here. We will switch the camera over, and I will pull out my little kit and see how much I have ready. Just a sec. We're gonna put this, let's see, we're gonna go solo screen here. There we go. All right. This card is made with, as I said, the Ginkgo Branch, which that's the first thing that I already don't have in here. I just decided it would be better to get on the camera and then figure out what all I didn't have with me. But we are using today Blushing Bride and Soft Succulent inks, and we'll be using the brick embossing folder. And that is, let's see, in the mini catalog, the Stampin' Up! Mini that goes through April, this January through April. And if y'all don't have this catalog, oh my gosh, how have you survived so far? It's got some beautiful, beautiful things in it that I haven't even gotten to play with yet. But this Ginkgo Branch bundle is on page 57 of the catalog. If you don't have one and would like to get one, I can certainly get you one if you don't have a demonstrator already. Happy to help you. Okay, the Ginkgo Branch bundle is item number 160469, and it's $53 for the bundle, and it is beautiful. It has dies which cut out the stamps. After you stamp, you'll have these dies cut out, and then it has this beautiful label stamp that I've used on several cards, and then it has standalone dies that are detailed that will do this kind of detail, which we're not featuring today, but I will be featuring in the class to go. And I'm calling it Gorgeous Ginkgo Class to Go. So you will have information on that soon. We will get out our little kit. And oh, we're also using, as I mentioned, the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. See if I can get that to focus here. It's item number 149643, if y'all are interested in that. And that is how we got this detail. I'll go ahead and show you the full card. And then we have the other stamp set. This is actually one of my customers, Amy Rock, at a recent class. She came up with this idea of putting this particular greeting sentiment on the card, and I thought that was really pretty, from the Chasing Sunshine or something like that, something close to that. So I will get you that item number in a minute. But it's just a simple little fold, Z fold that just folds back like that, and then you've got room to write your message here. We'll be using a blending brush here with the Blushing Bride. We'll do the embossing of the brick and then use a little blending brush for that. We'll stamp the image of the Ginkgo Branch in Blushing Bride, and then we're going to color with a marker on that to get the green stems, and color around the label with a marker after we die cut that. So we've got several things to do here. And as I said, I wasn't ready, but I decided to go on so I wouldn't lose you. I didn't want you to think I wasn't coming on at all. So hope y'all are having a great week. Maybe Tanya can chit chat with you while I get all the rest of my stuff together. Be right back. Okay. I'm going to close this door. Oops. Okay, let's get one thing done. We'll do the Blushing Bride ink. And I don't have my pretty ink Stampin' Pierce mat. I have no idea where that is, so we're going to use a very well-loved one. So y'all forgive me for that. But you can see I do a lot of classes and a lot of crafting. Get our little kit out. Cover that up so you don't have to look at it too much. Okay, in fact, we'll just go ahead and do our brick. We're going to take our cardstock, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at, this would be 2 3/4, and no, this would be 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. I believe we'll check this with our backwards ruler. Yes, 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. Got a little bone folder here. Yes, that was a little, so far, well, I've been doing these lives on Saturday all year. And this was the first Saturday that I just didn't wake up and think about it being Saturday. I mean, honestly, that was just such a busy day yesterday and the day before, really prepping for the Sip and Shop, which was a fun event. We have a really nice Lubbock Women's Club here, which is a historical building. And so they have, they're set up, I think it's a nonprofit, or they have a separate part that's a nonprofit. I don't understand exactly how it all works, but they have a lot of wonderful programs there. And a lot of the ladies are widows and really sometimes don't get out socially except to go meet friends at the Lubbock Women's Club. So it's nice to be a part of that. Okay. We will get our little brick on here. And of course, with the brick embossing folder, our card is going portrait. So we have to turn our folder this way. I'm trying to get it where you can see here. See if I can get that to focus. And you could just stick it in all the way, but I was just trying to I didn't want to try to match it up here in the middle, and I don't know if it would matter. In fact, we'll just try it, because when I did it, I kind of put the fold line about where the indentations stopped, tried to kind of even that up, and it went over a little bit, which was fine. But we're going to go ahead and put it in all the way just so y'all know how it's going to look if you do that. And that way you'll have this option if you decide to do this. If you want to make this card, or you decide to do my whole class. And of course, this is a 3D embossing folder, so we use that gray plate. So now we have, and you need to make sure you keep this same side up, because one side will be embossed, one side will be debossed. So you can see this is the embossed side, which it usually is when you use your folder with the Stampin' Up side logo up. So we're going to turn this around and use this. We're not going to flip it upside down, because that would make the front panel one way and the inside another way. So I'm just going to go partly. I'm going to try to kind of line that up there. You want to make sure, I don't know that you can see it on camera, but you've got a little gap here between the edge of the embossing folder and where the embossing starts. So you just try to account for that in where you put it with the score line, or you can just make it overlap and not worry about it. We're going to put a piece of paper over this anyway. So now I've got that lined up where I can see, and y'all saw what I did. And all I'm doing is turning it around, because you always want to put the hinge first going through your embossing machine. Sorry about the noise, but that's the only way you can see it is on this table. So it's right by the microphone. All right. Now, if only I know my dies are packed because we took those yesterday, my Stylish Shapes dies. So I'm going to have to run and get those in a minute. But we'll go ahead and get this part ready. We're going to just grab a little grid paper. You always want to have grid paper handy if you're doing using your blending brushes, and because you want to, let's see how we can get this where y'all can see a little better. And thank y'all for tuning in and staying with me. Hi, Rebecca. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you're tuning in when you get a break at work. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to tap, tap, tap on the stamp pad, and then you stamp off. Always hit onto the stamp pad, so onto your scratch paper, so that you get that yucky first initial part off over here and not a big blob on here, because you just really can't blend it out when you do that. Okay, let's see. Let me see if y'all want to do this. I feel like I can talk to you better when I'm giving you a tip if I'm looking at you. Okay. So stamp it off here and then go onto the paper just from the side. And we just want to get, I decided to get kind of the raised ones. If you go too much with this Blushing Bride, it has a lot of brown in it and it just turns pretty brownish. So you just kind of want to hit the highlights, but always stamp it off, tap it off before you go on, and try to go in from the side and go kind of in a circular motion. But you definitely don't want to do brown over, do the Blushing Bride over the whole surface, or it will start looking brown. Not that brown's a bad color, but it's not what we're going for on this card. Okay. Let's see if y'all have any other comments or questions or anything. Have y'all used blending brushes? Do you like blending brushes? I just think ours are awesome. I love them. They really give some definition to these bricks, don't you think? You can tell a difference even with just that light touch that I gave. This one was a little heavier touch, you can tell. So just kind of giving you a variety. And then we're also going to take the white piece that's going to go right here. And like I said, if y'all take the class, or if I end up posting this on my blog, I will give you all the measurements and all that in the class kit. And I'm just kind of going in some from the edge. I'm not even going in the middle at all. Just trying to give it a little bit of color. You can see that here. Hopefully. Get the light right. There we go. Maybe. Maybe you can see it. Let's get a little more. We want y'all to be able to tell what I'm doing. So just kind of randomly. And I know several of these glues were working yesterday, so we're going to cross our fingers that I picked the right one. And I don't think we did. Oh, yep. You're in luck at the moment. All right, and then if you wanted to stamp something, I would definitely stamp on it first, because you're not going to have the chance to do that once you put it in here, because you've got some of that brick right behind it, so it would not stamp smoothly. But it'll be great for writing your message. Okay, now we've got this white piece that we're going to stamp on. And we're going to take our Ginkgo Branch. Isn't that pretty? And it's one of the, I don't know if it says distinctive or not, but it really looks like a distinctive stamp where we have all the color variation in there, which is lovely. See if this block's big enough. Nope, takes the big block. Or you could use, let's see, this block is F, and it's the biggest block we have. You could use it, or you can use the Stamparatus, either one. And what we're going to do is, oops, that's not it. We're going to use our Blushing Bride. And again, sorry about this. I usually save a pretty one for online stuff, but just ran out of time this morning when I forgot it was Saturday. It's crazy. After a year, all my life, I worked a job where I had to be at a specific location, at my office every day, except for Saturday. So it was a big deal to not have to be at the office. But now I pretty much work in my home office every day on Stampin' Up. So it's just a little different. Weekends don't quite mean the same. Okay. Has anybody else done anything fun already this weekend? Tanya, I know you were going out to dinner, I think, last night. Hope that was enjoyable. Or is that tonight? I think that's tonight. Tanya and I have a play to go to this weekend. We're going to get to see Legally Blonde. And speaking of blonde, I meant to do the marker on the stamp, and I was talking instead. So let's just flip it over and try it again. I think that'll be easier. I did try to go back and use the marker later and on top of the pink, and it was just hard to get it exactly lined up, and I just like the effect better. Woo! Almost did it again. Okay, this time let's practice what I preach. How about that? Okay, we're going to take on, when you have the rubber stamps or the cling mount, you can use the marker directly and not the blends. The blends won't work this way, but hopefully y'all can see this. Is that close enough and lit up enough? You can use our Stampin' Write markers for this because they are the dye-based ink, just like our stamps are. They are a water-based dye. And then the blends do not really work doing this, coloring directly on the stamp, or I've not had good luck with them. They just kind of pool up. So you don't have to be exact. This is a very watercolory kind of look with all the variation in color. So if you get a little bit of the stem color onto the flower or vice versa, it's not a big deal. So I'm just going over the petal pink, going on top of it, kind of going back over, making sure all of the stems are colored. And you can go back over them a second time after the first coat dries, kind of like I'm doing. And it gets better coverage that way. And then we're going to huff on it to re-moisten it before we actually stamp down with it. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to see Legally Blonde. So I'm hoping that's a fun one. Okay. Now we're going to press, and this block is a heavy duty block, but you still need to use some pressure. This has a lot of different solid, light and dark and all that variation in the stamp. So just make sure you're giving it firm, even pressure. Straight down, straight up. There you go. So it's supposed to look like that, have the lights and darks and texture. That's the way this ink is designed. But isn't that pretty with how putting the soft succulent on with the Blushing Bride makes that look? And I'll show you, since I've done the other side wrong, I'm going to show you what it does, just in case you want to try this. It works, but it's just kind of a different look. It's hard to get the you kind of get the pink showing there. And you kind of have to, I don't know, it works, but it's just hard to get it exactly right. And here, this gives you the same watercolory effect, but a little bit easier. And if you want to extend that a little, you can go on down with it, but there is going to be a little bit of difference in that color, because even though they're both soft succulent, your first soft succulent that was on the branch is on top of the blushing bride, so it's going to be a different shade. But if you're the type that you feel like all these lines have to be filled in, or it has to be complete stem and not just a loosey-goosey watercolory effect. I don't know how else to call it, but you can fill them in a little bit like that, but there will be a variation in the color of the stem if you do that. So there's a variation in the color of the flowers anyway, so it's not a big deal. So however you want to do it, it's great. You're creating your own card, so it's all about how you want to do it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and turn this way, and I'll be right back. My happy birthday is in a set we took yesterday, I believe. So talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to take this ugly thing off the screen. We'll leave this, and I shall be right back. Okay, I cannot find one of the stamp sets, so we're going to just stick with the happy birthday on the front, and we'll use something else on the inside. Can't find that stamp set, but I did find the stylish shapes dies, so we are making progress. Sorry about the delay, people. Thanks for your patience. Gotta have a little sip of water here. Oh, I forgot y'all could see me when I was traipsing out to the other room. Sorry about that. Oh, goodness. All right. How many of y'all are crafting this weekend? Anybody doing anything special or working on cards for a friend or a birthday or a holiday coming up or anything like that? We're getting this mounted. And I usually try to have the stamp pad on a flat surface and not do it on, whoops, and I'm doing it in pink. And I'm thinking I want to do it in green. It'll show up better with the soft succulent. So we'll clean that off and do that in the soft succulent instead. caught that one early. I think you can see better here, maybe. Yeah. And just tap, tap, tap. I know a lot of, if you're a new stamper or haven't tried it before, our pads are just awesome. I know if you've got some old pads or something maybe from another company, you may have to beat on them. But these, you just tap lightly on this foam. This is, Stampin' Up! Has perfected the ink pad, I tell you that. So we are going to cut this out. And I should have just cut first, but I didn't. Okay. Get our Stampin' Cut emboss machine back out again. Switch out and add our plate number 2. Add one of the plate number 3s. Get our little birthday thing on here. Try to do it at an angle. Anytime you've got a straight, flat surface, you want to, especially like a square or rectangle, you don't want all the speed bump. Makes it more difficult on your machine to get that through there. So that's why this is going in at an angle. And isn't that beautiful, that little label? I'll show you all the detail that's on it. The camera will focus. There you go. Isn't that pretty, that embossing on there? And I could have done the other die at the same time, but since I'm on air, I thought it would be easier to go ahead and do both instead of worrying about getting washi tape and all that. It's hard to get 2 things lined up both exactly. So I thought we'd do it one at a time. But if you want to save time and you're doing it yourself and you're not on camera, it's probably great to do them both at once. So you just get this outline. They really have improved on their dies too, where you don't have to leave a certain amount around each one. Really just kind of get this even right all the way around. Whoop, there we go. By Jove, I think I've got it. by George, by Jove. I don't know. I've heard both of those. Tanya, I know I have some of those days too. She's been trying a lot of different things, but nothing's working out. I know some days go really great and really smoothly and just everything works out perfectly, and other days are just the opposite. I get that. Okay, we'll get those dies out of the way. And, oh, yeah, and I went to get the Stylish Shapes dies. We've still got to cut that one out. We're going to cut the largest die in the soft succulent. And then on the inside, we're doing, I don't think I did the smaller one, the next smallest. So this is the largest, and this would be the next size to it. And this is using the Stylish Shapes dies, which is a standard. It's a must. If you're going to do any die cutting at all, if you have a die cutting machine, you want these Stylish Shapes. They're just an everyday thing. 159183 is that item number. Okay. Let's see if we have our white sheet. We're going to have to read it. Here we go. Okay. Get our machine back up. Kelly needs to be a little more organized, but when I'm less busy, I'll be more organized. Tanya was proud of me. I got everything organized when I took it to the event yesterday. I had all my adhesives in one little box and all the things to make one card in one box and a different card in a different box. And of course, it was a lot harder to do that when we were packing up. But Tanya was wonderful partner on all that. So I appreciate that, Tanya. And if any of y'all are in the Lubbock area, I've been invited to be a demonstrating artist at the Lubbock Arts Festival. That's April 15th and 16th. So if any of y'all are watching or in the area, if you're watching live or on the replay and are interested in helping work a shift or two at the, like spend a couple of hours, kind of community service, basically letting people make cards there or helping me get card kits made for the Arts Festival, I am looking at doing that and partnering with my friend and fellow demonstrator, Sharon McCartney, and then anybody else who could help us work shifts. It really is rewarding to introduce people to paper crafting like that for the first time and have them be excited that they've made a card. It really is fun. It's exhausting to be there all day, and I definitely need lots of helpers that volunteers. That would be awesome. So y'all let me know if you're interested in helping with that, and I can send you more details. Okay. We're going to stamp our something on here. Let's see what we're going to stamp. I think we'll stamp another, we'll bring that outside in and stamp a little flower that matches that comes from the Ginkgo set. Ginkgo Branch. Probably could use a little bit larger block, but we're going to see if we can make this work. Sometimes if it won't fit just straight up and down, it'll fit if you put it on diagonally. So that's what we're doing here. In case you're wondering why that's wompy jawed or wonker jawed, what do y'all say? Catty wampus, kitty wampus. There's a lot of names for that, right? For not being straight, a line straight. What do y'all call it? I'm so excited about the Stampin' Up! Is going to be doing a color refresh. So not only will we have new in colors, we may have some of the, well, we definitely have two of the previous in colors that are coming back, Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. And we will learn at the end of this month, the Stampin' Up! Demonstrators will learn about the new colors coming in and which colors are retiring, and just have a big time. It's going to be fun to learn about all that. So that's very exciting news that we have coming up. Okay, we're going to say, what do we want? Happy birthday. What? We want to say, this is from the Happiness Abounds, the script there on the label on the front. So we're going to put wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. That kind of goes along with the happy birthday, I think. And we're going to do that in the soft succulent. We'll get this off of there and mount this. Oh, I'm just appalled that this is the only Stampin' Pierce mat I could find at the moment when I ran in here. I've got a good 6 of them, but this is real life, peeps. I'm going to kind of, I should have put this first and then put the flower, but of course I didn't plan for that. So we're going to make a real artsy kind of move there. I think that'll be pretty. Once we get it off of this nasty thing. It's not really nasty. It's just well loved. Okay. I think we've got all our pieces together to put this together. Let's get this a little bit creased a little better. See if we have any more comments. Anybody have any questions? Anything? Anybody watching? Happy to help. Okay, we're going to pop this up. Oh, let's go ahead and do the label. Let's see what we did with my birthday label that we just cut out moments ago. Y'all didn't see what I did with it. I showed it to you. And where is it? I wanted to color on it with a marker like I did this other one. Let's see. We're going to pick this all up again. Okay, the little hobbits are back again. Let's see where it could possibly be. Did it get stuck? It's not here. This proves we cut it out. I haven't moved. I haven't run away. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's just proceed with see where it went. It's got to be here. It's got to be right here. I haven't gotten out of this chair. Nope. Okay. Well, let's just pretend we have it. And we're going to go ahead and put this on front. And I'm just going to leave room for the label. So you kind of have to kind of audition your pieces and see where you're going to put this based on how far up or down this is, how much the flowers, how much you want them to hang off, which direction, how you want to mount it, that kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and put these on. I'm going to put dimensionals kind of where, let's see, that's going to be hanging off. So we don't want it there. We want to make sure we have a solid base on this. Let's see how we're going to do this. I'm going to leave room for the label because we're going to find that in just a minute. I'm just sure of it. I'm feeling where my dimensionals are. Okay, so I need one more down at the bottom down here. And I think we'll be good to go. Okay. I'm going to kind of move that over a little so the flower doesn't have to be too far off, and we'll cover just that bottom part with the label. You want to make sure none of your dimensionals are showing from the back, and look at that. I'll have to fix that later, but I don't know, kind of might be okay. Let's see how much of that's going to show. Not much, but that kind of works. Otherwise, what you can do is just die cut another one of these out of white, just this shape, and paste it on the back of this, and that'll work. That'll fix that if you don't want that little bit of pink showing right there. Or we can move it up even a little more. And we'll only have that, and that kind of looks intentional. So there we go. We're going to glue this half on. Just make sure you know where you want to glue. Usually I get on the other side, but I'm just kind of holding it. Let's see how we decided we wanted that. About, oops, that was too much. Okay. We're going to do about like that. So, woo! A little too wild on the glue there. I think I added a little bit of water to that one and got it a little bit runny when I put it in here. Now we have a little bit showing. Let's scoot it a little bit. That's one of the wonders of the liquid glue, right? Here's one of our backings. Okay. I think I'm going to put a little bit of a dimensional right there. Still looking for the mystery label. Which is not under my chair. Who knows? We may have to cut another one. I'm just going to put a little bit of an edge dimensional underneath here. Okay. And then you're going to line this up on the inside. Just make sure it is kind of a little further in here. You want to make sure wherever you put it, it's not too high where it's going to show this way. So you can see the white peeking through there. So you probably don't want that. You want it hidden behind this green circle. And that's why I made it smaller than this circle, because it's too hard to line up otherwise. And we're going to lay this flat. Usually I put it flat on the inside of a card. Rarely do dimensionals there, so I'm barely going to do that. Make sure, whoops, see, it needs to come down just a tad more. Could come out a little. Okay, it's totally hidden. This is pretty much parallel to the top and bottom of the card, so it looks straight. Isn't that pretty? Wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. That's a lot of happiness, right? With some of us anyway. You have an imagination? Okay, there you go. Now, I suppose we're just going to cut another label because I still have not found that one. It is like it absolutely disappeared. So we'll just cut another one real quick. Oh, of course, found it hiding under the embossing plates. Hoorah. Whew. Just threatened to do another one, and there it goes. Okay, now we're going to take our Stampin' Write marker, and you could probably use a blend, but they spread a little bit more than the markers, so you'd have to be careful to make sure kind of where it goes, if it's going to bleed into the inside, if that makes sense. So if you'll use your little marker and just kind of freehand across there, across that embossed area. I'm just kind of making it look brush strokey like the other stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could probably do a thinner line and not do the whole embossed area, but I found that more difficult. So I'm just making a line. And if it's a little off, it's a little off. It doesn't have to be exact. Your artwork is not a precision artwork. It's very brushstrokey, watercolory. So there you go. Easy peasy. Now we have a 2-color label. At last. So we will just figure out how we want this to be. And then if you do it, I'm just going to put one dimensional right there. And then probably a glue dot or a little bit of regular glue. I think I have some glue dots across this. And then I have room here. If we tuck that right there, let's see if that's going to work before I push them down very hard. I think it is. Okay. Whoops, I pulled the back off of that one, not that one. Okay, so we'll just center that in this area. Isn't this a beautiful stamp set? My goodness, I really fell for it. But all the dies, especially with the detailed dies that I'm going to be using on the other cards, you can see this is another one of the dies that's a freestanding die. And then there's a smaller one. Also, we'll be using these on some different cards. So, like I said, don't order the set yet because we want to all be on the host code and everything for this class. And then you'll get extra goodies. Okay, we're going to add a couple of embellishments. And this seemed like it was going to be too pink, but I kind of think it worked. This is from the let's see what this is. Pastel adhesive back sequins. And this is in the mini catalog. And there, some of them are more pinky and some of them have a little purpley in there. So I'm getting more of the pinky brown, pinky coral ones and leaving the purple ones off. So I'm just trying to go with the colors that are on this card in particular. And we'll just put a couple right here. Aren't those pretty? And there are two sizes of those. This is the larger, and then here's the smaller. So you can kind of see the size difference there. And then usually we do things in threes. So you could pick one flower and put one there. You could put one up here if you wanted. Let's just do something different. We'll put one over here. And then we've got our little triangle to keep your eyes on the focal point, which is what the embellishments are about. IMO, in my opinion. Isn't that pretty? So you've got your room to write your little message. Then they can stand up their little Z-fold card. They've got all the texture with the bricks. And all we need is what? What do y'all think? Oh, Tanya, I'm glad you're excited about this class coming up. Online class or class to go. Okay, I'm thinking what else we need is, anybody guessed it? Wake up, Stella. Yes. Okay, we're going to see if I can find which one is my most current one. And usually I use this, I really like on a label, if you've got this embossed edge, to really accentuate that by painting that with the Wink of Stella. And then I'm going to put some on the flowers also. Got a little, let me get a little bit more in the barrel here. Oh my, it's running low. Let's see, let me try another one. Could have picked the wrong one. There we go, we've got some in that one. I'm just kind of doing it at the base of the flowers. Doesn't have to cover the whole flower. And you don't even have to do all of them if you don't want to. Just kind of make it a little loosey-goosey. Oh, Tanya, that would have been a good idea. It was stuck in between the plates. Thank you, Janice. Glad you tuned in. Glad you think it's a pretty card. Would love for you to make it in this class to go coming up. Tanya, thanks for the compliment. Okay, let's move this ugly placemat out of the way. That's not nearly as ugly as our other one. Our Stampin' Pierce mat was pretty bad today. Sorry. It's not that I don't care about y'all. It's just that I have more on my brain than it can handle sometimes. Oh, goodness. Well, y'all watch your email. Please subscribe to my blog at createwithkelly.com. And you will sign up for my email list that way. Whoops, let's do this. I don't really need that close up. I meant to do that one. There we go. Yeah, it's easier for y'all to see and for me to talk to you. And you can see my pile I made over here. Whoop, sorry, forgot that was going to show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Let's see, we have a Facebook user. I don't know if that's Felicia. Sometimes your name doesn't show up. So maybe that's you. If it's not, whoever you are, Facebook user, I'm happy that you like the card. And anytime you are willing to share your name and photo so that I know who you are in the comments, if you'll just, at the very first, you get a notification, I believe, that lets you know that you just need to give Facebook and StreamYard permission to share that. So I would love to have y'all join me for the class. And please, like I said, sign up for the blog and you'll get an invitation to the class to go that has a lot of these gorgeous Ginkgo Branch cards in it. Let me show you one more time, close up. Look how pretty that is with the Wink of Stella And you could imagine you can do this in just about any color. It doesn't have to be blushing bride if that's not your favorite. It's not really one of my favorites, but I thought it was really pretty with the soft succulent for this particular card. And I actually designed it. I had my friend Amy Rock, who's one of my customers and is an awesome Mary Kay consultant. And she loves pink, anything pink. So she was coming to that class. So I thought, I'm going to do a pink one for her. So thanks a lot again for tuning in. Sorry I was discombobulated, but that's just me. Y'all have a great week. Fun times ahead. Watch out for details about this class and let me know if you have any questions about any Stampin' Up! Products that I used today or anything you need. Or if you need a catalog, let me know. Thanks a bunch. Fun times ahead. Have a great day. Bye-bye.